Best of the highlights from the AP250 race number 2 of 12 of the season. And on the very start, a big crash took out 3 racers. Fairozi on the Yamaha, Chun Mei from Chinese Taipei, and Duk Tan all taken out. And a ride-through penalty also for bike number 54. So much going on in the early stages, Barry Russell. We almost forgot about the race at the front.
Well, we almost missed the first lap as it unfolded, but it was Herjun who got away. Jack Rapat initially who took the fight to him, but there would be a little breakaway group.
Jack Rapat, bike number 20 for Honda Racing Thailand, would manage to get himself into P2 in the end result. And at this stage they were keeping Reza Danica Arons within sight, and we were hoping, I think, that Reza Danica wouldn't run away with it as in a strictly neutral way as you can. But Reza Danica really does look like he is the man on the machine with the right team this season.
Yeah, he looked really unhurried. He made his way to the front and he just pulled away like it was the most natural thing in the world. But like we said yesterday, the really top professionals make it look easy.
So much so that our focus, or the television focus, was on the battle for P2 because he was on a race of his own. But what a battle it was for P2. It would go down, as it always does here at Buriram, to the final corner. And I promise you there is some real incidents on the final corner. Maglada, who would eventually get P3, she's leading the way. Herjan, Adna, Maglada had a little bit of a contretemps yesterday and a warning from the race control. But as they come into the final 2 laps or so, this was a battle royale.
Yeah, all 4 of these riders fought so hard. Really good races, every one of them. Everyone had their own special reason to be on the podium.
Plenty of dueling going on. Maglada, as always, in the thick of it. Irfan Ardiansa was just trying to ease her off the track, but Maglada bows to nobody. There's the race winner, Reza Danica, but then into the final corner. Look at the Kawasaki of Irfan. He's just forced wide, catches the back wheel, and then forces Herjan Atna off. Irfan finishes to come in P4. Reza Danica wins it for a P2 and P3 for Honda Racing Thailand. That is why they are happy. A very confident Chip Nakarin saw it in a dream that he was going to win victory today, and he got off to a fast start as well. Bike number 41 leading into the first corner, and a taste of things to come is that Karolidon Powie was the man who went alongside him, and those two right from the very start, Barry Russell, they were clearly going to dominate this race, and it was just a case of who was going to be able to just time it perfectly on the final lap.
Yeah, you really saw the quality of these 2 former GP racers. They've both been in Moto3, of course, and I was really impressed at how Kip managed the pressure from behind for so many laps. And there was Soichiro Minamoto. Started well yesterday, then faded. Today came up close to the front 2, but couldn't quite stay on the pace. But it was a good race for him.
It certainly was for Minamoto. He would get caught in a battle with Kito Abe, who had 2 4th place finishes, while behind them the Bunchu Hondas of Helmi Asman and Ajroy Hakim, to a lesser extent, were both struggling. But Helmi, who had started on P3, went backwards and at one stage was down in P11 or P12. But at the front, well, for a little while Minamoto got himself into that group. We thought Chip Nakarin had dropped back, but Nakarin was able to resort the control and get himself back on the tail of Karolidon Powie.
Yeah, a little look at the battle, which was equally close for P3 between Abe and Minamoto.
There's Abe trying to nick around the corner, but Minamoto just gets the better drive out. You can go in as tight as you want, but it's whether or not you can hold that back tyre, and then you get a slow drive out. But I tell you what, Chip Nakarin had been dreaming of this the night before, or he'd not been able to sleep, and he'd been thinking about this the night before. He'd lost on the final corner the previous day, yesterday. And he's just tracking Karolidon Powie here, and he's making sure he's close enough. Kip did make a couple of attempts to get away, but unsuccessfully.
Yeah, and good tyre management by Chip as well. That was part of the plan. This is the move.
That was the move, just coming down over the brow of the hill, and then the challenge is to Karolidon Powie. Can you get back to him now? Kip said he got in front of him on the final straight. I didn't really see that, and he couldn't outbreak him on the final corner. Anyway, grip had gone for Caroline Power. You see a little wobble there, and Chip Knacker in a wheelie over the line to celebrate his first victory of the season and joint first in the championship stand. Highlights from a terrific Superbikes race number 2 of the season in the Asia Road Racing Championships. Our eyes on Aslan Shah, Cameron's Armour, who started right at the very back of the grid because of problems during qualification, and before you knew it, Barry Russell, he was up competing, as you can see here, for a place in the top 6. Within 2 laps he was in the top 2, whereas his teammate Marcus Reiterberger was struggling with grip on corner 12.
Yeah, he started well and went in the opposite direction. Unfortunately for him, he hasn't quite got this sorted out, but as you said, Des, Aslan Shah came up so fast. It was 4 sectors it took him to get up with the leaders, and there he is. Took the lead very quickly from Haruki Noguchi.
We were wondering in the race though whether or not that would have an impact on the tyres. He said in a post-race interview that his tyres just didn't hold out at the very end, so maybe he went out just a little bit too quick, but even if he did, it was exhilarating to watch. And the exhilaration just continued because there was a 5-man train for much of the race. Reiterberger, Zakwan and Andy Farid Izdihar coming through as well. We didn't expect to see him looking for race wins this early in his 1000cc career.
Yeah, that was phenomenal for him in a way. I would have liked to have seen him on the podium, but he gave notice that he's going to be a contender this year.
But all the while, the eyes of Haruki Noguchi, the eyes on the top of his helmet, they bear into you. They are so psychologically important. I'm sure the riders are thinking of it when they see them. And he's just got this switchback move, which he performs time and time again. He just sticks to the track like a train. It's beautiful to see.
It is that corner speed that he's got that Daniel was talking about this morning. It is something special. He seems to slingshot past mid-corner.
Reiterberger with another mistake there. You saw the anger on him. That lost any chance of a podium. He'd actually go and finish in P6, the German, and that meant there were 4 up at the front, and Perm anyone from 4. You suspected always, I think, that Haruki Noguchi was just going to have enough in the tank, but Andy Farid would have been such a popular winner, but it was down only on the final lap when Andy Farid eventually gave up the lead that it held for 3 laps. Behind them, Aslan Shah was there, and it comes to the final corner, corner number 12, as it always does here, and he holds on brilliantly. Straight line speed forces Andy Farid to stay out, and Andy Farid loses 1, 2, 3 places and a place on the podium.